You need to figure out where your money is going before you can tell it where to go. In our last video, I said to get 3 months worth of paychecks and your bank or credit card statements. If you didn't grab those yet, no worries. You can pull most of them up online as you go through this. You can also grab the free printables for this video in the description box. You can use the monthly budget to plan out your average month, and then print another one to plan out your very first monthly budget. A couple of terms I want you to keep in mind are fixed and variable. These can apply to your income or your bills. If you are a freelance or commissioned-based income, it's going to be variable. Fixed bills are going to be things like your rent or mortgage, car payment, when you know what the amount will be every month. Variable are those bills that are going to change each month, such as maybe your electricity or gas for your car. I'm going to flip you around and we will go through setting up a budget. First, you are going to add up all of your income sources. For this video, I'm going to use some easy numbers to add and subtract. Obviously, you'll want to use your actual numbers. You need to figure out your average monthly income. Let's say you make $1,500 each paycheck and you get typically 2 paydays a month. Your income is going to be $3,000. So I'm going to write that. Income 1, $3,000. Now, let's say your spouse gets paid twice a month, but one of their checks varies. You're going to look at their last 3 months, add up their variable checks, and divide by 3. So you'll say they got $1,600, $2,000, and $2,400. Add it up, you get $6,000 divided by 3 gives me an average paycheck of $2,000. Their other check is always $1,500. So for their income number 2, you write down $3,500. So your total monthly income is going to be $6,500. Now you're going to figure out your monthly bills. We're going to start with the fixed expenses. So grab your bank and or credit card statements and make a list of the fixed and a separate list of variable. Our goal is going to be to have 0 left over at the end of the month. That doesn't mean you spend all of your money. You just know where all of your money is. It all has a role. You know where it's at. Some of it's going to pay bills, some might go to debt, and some might go to savings. What I have written down for fixed, and this might be different for you, I have rent or mortgage, car payments, internet, city services, power, phone, and TV. Now, the power one, I put that under fixed because I know it's going to come every month and I know about what it's going to be. So if you are unsure what your power is, you can put that under variable. The thing with budgeting is it's very personal and it's very flexible. So you do what works best for you. Under variable, I put food, both groceries, takeout, that kind of stuff, gas for the vehicles, a little bit of personal spending money for each of us, entertainment, household, and pet. Your variable expenses will come from when you go through your statements for the last 3 months. What did you spend your money on? I put them into categories that I use, but you can make up whichever categories make sense for you. Do you eat out a lot? Maybe you want a budget just for that. I lump it all into food. Entertainment could be movies or dinners out. It also is where I put our streaming services and travel. Household is items like cleaning supplies or home decorating. Next month, we are going to take a deeper dive into categories. You're not going to be stuck with these forever. You just want to figure out where everything is going first and have an idea of what your monthly budget will look like. The bottom 2 sections of your worksheet are debt and savings. And you may or may not use these. You may use them some months, you may not use them others. Debt could include credit cards, student loans, or other personal loans. Savings is any savings account or retirement. Now, for me, I only put down the retirement that I put into after I receive my check. I also have retirement through my employer, but that comes out before taxes, so I just pretend like I don't even see it. You may have a completely different setup. Some people will put their car payments under debt. Personally, I put them under my fixed expense. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be something you're going to stick with forever. Play around with it, see what works for you. So now you have an idea of what you have coming in and going out each month. You can set an actual budget for the next month. So real quick, if we look at our average monthly budget, so I started with income, then I did my fixed and variable, and I kind of saw where I was at with those. So I took a look at my credit cards and said, okay, I'm going to put, $250 towards that one and $50 towards that one because that's the minimum, and I'm snowballing that one or whatever. And then, do I have anything left over after fixed, variable, and debt? Yep, so let's put some into our retirement and some into savings. And how you determine those amounts, completely up to you. So we put our total income, $6,500. We add up all of our totals for expenses, $6,500. Subtracted out, 0. Okay, let's fill out your budget for next month. Go ahead and print off a second monthly budget tracker and start filling it in for the month. You have room for both your budget and actual amount. So we'll walk through like we're putting together our budget for January. You're going to start filling in your budget columns with your income and then your fixed and variable expenses. You can see most of my amounts I have under budget, and only some have I filled in the actual amount. If you know what it is, go ahead, fill it in like rent, car payments, because those aren't going to change. For us, our city service and our power, I kept our budgeted amount, but I have not put in the actual amount because it does vary a few dollars every month. And then for power, when I figured out our average monthly for power, I was basing that off of our August, September, and October bills. And we still had the AC on for those months, so it was a little bit higher than our winter bills. We get an email every month saying your estimated usage bill is going to be X. The last email I got said $110, so I put in $110. So as you can see, very fluid, very flexible. Then you'll go through, fill in your budget for your variable expense. And when you're filling in your variable expenses, pull up your calendar to see if there's anything coming in that month that may increase your budget a bit. Do you have any birthdays or holidays that you need to budget for? Maybe an upcoming trip or school event. Make sure to think about those as well and include them in your budget. Now, you should have a good idea of where your money is going next month. At the end of the month, pull out your budget sheet, review it, use it to help you set the following month. For me, if I was doing this as my actual budget, I would start filling in the actual amounts over here. As soon as I know them, adding it up, making sure, what my total is compared to my income, and then kind of adjusting numbers over here or here as needed. You are not locked into this budget. It is very important to always review where you were and what you have next. Maybe next month you have a quarterly expense and you won't be able to save as much. That is totally okay, but you just need to be prepared for it. And that's what budgeting helps with. It helps you be prepared. And if you need to, print off several of these sheets and redo your budget. That's okay. We all make mistakes. We all mess up. Now, your homework before the next video is to start tracking your spending. If you grabbed the monthly budget sheets, you also have a tracking log. So at the end of each day, pull this out and write down anything you bought and how much it was. The description box is large enough that you should be able to put in the store that you bought it at and a little note of what you bought. For example, if you go to Costco, you'd write Costco, food, groceries, and the amount spent. You can round up to work with even numbers if you prefer. That's what I like to do, is nice even numbers. So my expenses, I always round up to the nearest dollar. So like if this was $1.99 and some change, it's now $200. If this was $21.72, it's now $22. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to have an idea of where and how much you spent so you can pick your categories. So how does your average monthly budget look? Are you ready to tackle next month's budget on your own? Don't forget to grab your monthly budget and expense tracker. And if you are interested in some budgeting financial challenges in 2023, be sure to join the Runs on Planning group. I'm going to be doing different challenges or like support activities each month. I will leave the link in the description box if you want to check it out. Do you have a friend or family member that maybe is interested in starting to budget? Please share this video with anyone you think would enjoy it. And until next month, I hope your budget and coffee are strong.